Live, and we are back for our continuation in our Dark Legacy campaign. Looks like we got a full house today. It's going to be amazing. And let's just go over the recap here, get everybody situated since we couldn't play last week due to some Discord issues, but we do have a backup plan in case that happens again. So, let's get this recap started. And I apologize ahead of time. Having returned to Aurora, the capital of Hallen, you each took upon many separate and even personal endeavors during your stay. The city had changed much since your last visit. Within the city walls, a mercenary company calling themselves Chimera were tasked with policing the streets, hired by the Stardew Merchant House of the Concordant, a group of merchant families who influence governments all over the world. Here in Aurora, Chimera was instituted a policy for peace bonding of all weapons, and anyone found armored or otherwise militarized, be it from weapons or magic, would be questioned and possibly detained. One evening in particular, Mordecai was approached by 3 members of a rival faction, the Infernal Scepter. They did not want blood. However, they wanted to peacefully discuss a temporary truce between the 2 groups, as a common foe and greater threat to both had resurfaced, the Nemesis. A powerful army created by the being now known as the Mad God. On a separate evening, Mordecai once again found himself on the receiving end of unexpected attentions. Aurora's military brought him before General Kale, a 12-foot tall half-dragon. They believe that Aerie, one of Mordecai's previous traveling companions, was involved or even orchestrating several attacks against Aurora and its citizens. However, Mordecai refused to cooperate, and the general dismissed Mordecai and began to speak with the Chimera mercenaries behind closed doors. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the city, Emery and Barth both witnessed a murder being taken place. It was in a darkened alleyway while they were on patrol looking for assassins who were hunting Princess Kitsune. They chose to stay in the shadows, hidden out of sight. But they did manage to catch a glimpse of the murderer. They saw that this figure was wearing a straw conical hat, had a strange metallic arm, and wielded a katana that seemed to cut the air like one would cut fabric or cloth, and vanished into the black portal beyond. Aerie, now in the body of Willow, a dryad, attended her family's funeral as the rest of you joined her in these unsafe times. There, you saw her last remaining family member, her sister Esmeralda, giving a eulogy describing the horrid fates of Aerie's other family members and how Aerie had been seen with some of the siblings and parents before they died. During the eulogy, several cultists posing as members of the Church of the Wonderbringer, the god of creation, tossed beads that exploded with great force and flame-like rings, One of the cultists cried out, "Ares sends her regards," before stabbing Esmeralda in the back. Another cultist summoned an eldritch horror using her own body as a portal. As the church began to burn, still confused by the chaos, the horror began to infest the living and the dead alike with its worm-like and parasitic spawn. You all were not alone in this fight, however. 4 Chimera mercenaries assisted in the battle as the remaining golden daughters of Allura, the goddess of beauty, took the wounded and possibly dead Concordant members out of the raging inferno around them. When all seemed lost, a strapping large young man calling himself Menhir broke through the rubble blocking the exit to the church and also joined the fight against the aberrations from another world. During the chaos, Imari and Esmeralda both teleported away to an unknown location, while the rest of you defeated the remaining horrors and escaped the blaze before the ceiling of the church collapsed. And that was where we last left off. So the remaining few of you stand outside the church in a awkward silence and stares.
So I'm there with I check on the ladies, the ones I know.
The
Pardon me a moment. Yep.
Okay, so you see outside there's a lot of panic. Most of the commoners that were outside paying respects have fled. There are more Chimera outside trying to disperse people, trying to get them out of the way. Some people who know magic are trying to summon gouts of water to try to put out some of the flames, but are not able to summon enough quick enough to really put out the inferno. As you walk over to some of the daughters, you notice some of them are holding, like 3 of them are carrying Concord members. They're busy checking on the members. They are singed. Some of them are got some cuts and bruises from some of the debris. But they don't seem to be that worse from whereas they weren't engaging with the Eldritch Horrors as you and the rest of the group were. Only one of the Concordant members seemed to still be conscious, and she is being attended to by one of the Golden Daughters. Which do you approach?
The conscious Concordant member or the Golden Daughter?
Well, which of the Golden Daughters? Because you said you were checking on them.
Yeah, are they any of them injured or no? It was only the one that luckily I did not see.
Well, they all are injured in their own ways, but not like crippled, bloodied kind of injured. They have, some marks from the fire and explosions that were going off, bits of rubble and sharp bits of wood that exploded in splinters like shrapnel. Nothing like, the almost were disemboweled. Nothing to that extent. Just minor battle wounds.
Okay, so they're all right. All right.
Yeah, they're functional, yes, and they're not profusely bleeding. It's just minor cuts. Tis just a flesh wound kind of thing. Now, you do know that one of the Golden Daughters did not make it out alive. In fact, her body was infected by one of the parasites from that horror, and then from her, about 9 other parasitic-like organisms emerged.
Yeah, it's horrible stuff. Well, hell, man. Shit. He's kind of at a loss. Like, what the hell happened up in there? Good lord. I'm gonna observe the surroundings and keep watch for any other threats since they're busy dealing with the wounded and stuff like that.
Okay.
Willow will try to go over to the wounded Concordant members and use her remaining spells to heal. See if any of them are just unconscious and not dead.
All right. What spell do you use?
Cure Wounds. I just have it at 4 first levels Cure Wounds left. And some good berries. We can force some good berries down throat.
It's gonna crush the berry over the mouth and squeeze the juice out. So on the first concordant member that you go to try to heal or resuscitate through the means of magic, that particular member looks like a little halfling. It's got like mutton chop sideburns, has kind of a green, almost like frock coat with that almost that pristine, well, once pristine white shirt and kind of the frilly cuff at the neck and the wrists. You place your hands on and you channel the energies. Your hands kind of glow a bit of this white, yellowish light. And as the healing energy passes into the Lord, nothing seems to happen.
All right, well, no time to grieve. Got to keep moving. Save it we can.
All right, so the second Lord, which is a gnome with kind of shoulder-length blonde hair, like a cracked monocle, also has kind of a thick, but this is more of a bluish coat. You also release the same healing energies into him as well. And for a moment, you just kind of wait to see if his body responds and check in, trying to feel for like a pulse, breathing. There seems to be no change in his body.
Well, we tried our best. I know there's at least another member.
Yep, and this one is an Azamar with creamy white skin, short cut blonde hair, and a flowing white gown. And you and the Golden Daughter are trying to put healing energies into this woman, trying to resuscitate her back to life through your medical trainings, through magical healings. The body does not seem to respond to these energies. The spirit has probably left the body. It has been gone for too long.
Well, regrettably for them, I don't know any magic to bring people back from the dead. So, let's tend to the living then. Because I know there was a lot of injured people leaving that place.
Well, you say a lot. Most people actually died in the church. There was a handful of commoners that were, managed to leave. There has 4 of the Golden Daughters that survived. One of the Concordant, a half-elf, she managed to live. Your sister teleported away, and besides yourselves, the 4 Chimera mercenaries.
Well, let's tend to the mercenaries then. Hello, can you help me?
Yeah, sure.
So the mercenaries, as well as the other Golden Daughter, they're trying to bring the last of the Concord members out safely. Trying to keep the crowds away from them. They don't know if there's another attack imminent. So they're very quickly trying to get the one that's clearly alive to safety.
And I will just get out of their way then.
All right. So while you all are going through that bit of chaos and aftermath, trying to attend some of the wounded, trying to get the safety yourselves, let's move on to another question that needs answering. What happened to Imri? What fate has befallen her?
Oh God.
Well, she was kidnapped by Gary's sister, so it's probably not looking good.
It could be worse.
Probably a sex slave by now.
No. And Barth has some very strange fantasies, but okay. So, for this, we're going to rewind a bit to the battle in the church, to the moment of the actual teleportation. Imri.
Yeah.
As Esmeralda places a hand on your shoulder, she finishes saying the last word of power from an incantation as a blinding white light seems to encapsulate you. Your body feels comfortably warm, not unlike being wrapped in a soft blanket. You feel a gentle pull on your body as it seems to slide away from the battle inside the church. You feel the pull stop gradually as both the blinding white light and the warmth that engulfed you begins to slowly fade. As your eyes are adjusting, you hear what sounds like rapid footfalls coming your way. The sound of metal armored plates hitting one another in rapid succession.
Well, she is going to look around to get a bearing while making sure that Esmeralda is with her, because she has not teleported that often. She is not 100% knowledgeable in how.
Okay. So, make a perception check for me. You will have disadvantage on this as you're still under the effects from the teleport here. Okay. So, Imri, as your vision is returning, you try really hard to focus some of your senses to try to center the images, the blurred visions, just trying to make out your surroundings. And you're able to do so through bits of your training as an assassin, quickly recover from some of the ill effects of hostile environments or even various chemical warfares that may have been used, poisons and similar effects. You see that you are inside of a lavish workstone hallway. There's lit chandeliers that hang high above, which are producing the light in here, which is showing various paintings and banners that are adorning the walls. There's small wooden displays that show small like statues and other little various art that stand along this very lengthy red carpeted floor. It's like a long rug. Esmeralda is next to you. She seems to be also trying to recover from a similar effect, though she is more of on one knee as she is wounded badly. But you both standing on what seems to be a small dais in a light blue glowing arcane symbol. As Esmeralda is on her knees trying to recover, the sounds that you heard seem to be coming from 4 armored guards wearing chainmail and tabards of a symbol that you've seen before through Ares' family, the Stardew Merchant Company's symbol, rushing over towards you and Esmeralda. What do you do?
Well, she holsters her crossbow and she goes to see if Esmeralda's okay.
You mean you don't point your hand crossbow at Esmeralda's head and say, "Hey, she's hurt"?
I got a hostage.
All right, so you put away your weapons as the 4 guards arrive. It's 3 male guards and 1 female guard. They're all human. One of the guards does have a crossbow and kind of doesn't point it at you, but does have it ready and kind of pointed off to the side a little bit, like ready to pull it if need be. While the others kind of tend to Esmeralda, who, in a very coarse voice, "She's not the one that attacked me." And they begin to relax their weapons around you, though they still have them at the ready in case anything else were to arrive to finish their assault on Lady Esmeralda. They help her up, and she looks at you. "Thank you for helping me back at the church from those assassins. What is your name?"
It is Imri.
I wish to talk to you more, but I need some assistance right now. Would you be so kind to be my guest here until I can at least talk to you and thank you for your valiant efforts?
Yeah, just make sure that the bleeding stops and everything, because your wounds look really bad.
Yeah, I think that blade hits poison. Definitely poison. You, and she points to one of the guards, and he just kind of stands at attention. "Yes, milady." "Take Imri to one of the guest rooms. Make sure she is safe and her needs are met. I'll be there when I can." Yes, my lady. And the other guards kind of drape Esmeralda's arms over each of their shoulders and start kind of bringing her along the hall while the other guard just kind of acts as additional security for her. The other guard just kind of looks at you and Miss Imri, I'm Armand. Let me fetch one of the servants here, and he just kind of does a sharp whistle. And you, after a few moments, you begin to hear this faint little pitter patter of feet just going, and you see coming from one of the adjacent halls a little servant girl, probably about late teens, a little young. She's got a little bit of smudges here, so she was cleaning something, and she just kind of does a little curtsy in front of the guard and just waves her off. Mirror, right? Yes. Please show Miss Imri to one of the guest rooms. She is to stay there until the lady can speak with her. We will keep a watch to make sure that the guest is safe, but please make sure her needs are met. And she does a little nod and... Yes, sir. Miss Imri, please follow me. And she just avoids eye contact and turns around and tries to stay a few steps ahead of you, but not too far ahead of you. So, Imri, what do you do?
She'll follow. She has no reason. She's gonna have her guard up, of course, because she's already been surprised once by assassins coming to kill her inside of a tree. So, she's at least gonna be somewhat on guard in case another group of assassins come to murder her in this house.
So you mean she doesn't go behind the guard, stab him, ha ha, I'll get you before you get me, motherfucker, and then kills the servant girl, then runs off, hiding in shadows? She doesn't go full murder
Maybe.
hobo?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, just from the smudges, I have an inkling that the servant girl might just be an orphan. And, well, you never trust orphans.
Orphans don't have rights.
No, Sis is just really bad with nicknames. She must like that one to call them smudges.
Okay. Well, since you're going to follow the servant girl, she takes you as you're escorted through the labyrinthian hallways of this keep. The windows, as you pass by, reveal breathtaking views of Aurora's Hydra canals and, well, really the city of Aurora as a whole. Walking up what seems to be a curved staircase over a large foyer filled with family portraits and exotic flowers. Your journey, it seems to end down an adjacent hall where the door to the guest room awaits. The servant girl gently opens the door to reveal a grand chamber, larger than some tap rooms you've been in. Dominating the room is a large four-post canopy bed with purple curtains, a colorful rug that covers the wooden floor, and the furniture in the room is probably hand-carved by the looks of it. Dark cherry wood with what appears to be a large brass private bath. Well, Miss Henry, is there anything else I can get for you? Or should I just leave you to your chambers?
I don't think there's really anything I need. I guess I am kind of thirsty because I drank nothing that was there.
All right. Would you prefer wine, spirits, water? What would the lady like?
Wine sounds good.
Yes, my lady. And she just does a little curtsy and again just bows her head and backs out the door, just gently closes it. You can hear the footsteps of one of the guards just coming up the stairs, and they stop probably a few feet from your door.
Noted. Well, she is going to relax somewhat and sit down, probably.
Okay. So, after a little bit, there is a knock at the door, and you hear the voice of the servant girl. Milady, is it okay if I opens the door?
Go ahead.
And she will gently open the door just a little bit, just to make sure that you're presentable and things like that. And then you hear the jingling of some glasses, a bottle, and this little tray that she's carrying very gently and not quite as dexterous as maybe you are with it. She's, you would be. It's shaking a little bit, but she does the best she can and gently closes the door as she enters with the tray that has this silver little goblet and has other little crystal glasses, and she has this bottle of corked wine. Doesn't look like it's been opened. And she waits for you to grab your choice if you want to drink from the silvered or the crystal.
She'll drink from the silvered.
Okay. And she'll place the platter down, and she'll struggles a little bit with the cork of the bottle, and it comes with a, and then she'll take the wine, and it's a red wine, and she just slowly pours it until you say when, and then she'll take the bottle, and she'll actually leaves you the bottle in there. Alright, is there anything else I can get, my lady?
No, I don't think so.
Very well. Just let the guard if you need anything, and I'll myself or somebody else will come to assist you. And she just politely backs out the room. So, after the door closes once more, you're in your room for a good hour or two. And then eventually you hear footsteps coming by your door. Multiple footsteps. And there is a knock at the door. Tuk, tuk, tuk.
Come in.
You say come in or coming?
Come in.
So the door opens and you see one of the guards open the door, but next to the guard is you see Lady Esmeralda. She's wearing a long, like this green dress that hugs the upper parts of her body, but it flows loosely from, the hips down. Her hair is kind of pulled back. It's long black hair. She has a little golden tiara that just kind of keeps her hair in place. And she has various matching jewelry along her arms, which are just sleeveless with the dress. She enters the room, and the guards go to enter, and she says, "No, no, I'll be fine. I just want to talk to Miss Anne-Marie." And the guard just kind of puts his fist to his chest and, "Yes, my lady," and closes the door, but stands outside the chambers. And Esmeralda is just right now just looking at you, looking about the room. Feel like she's trying to size you up, trying to get a read on you.
Well, Amory looks more or less relaxed, and she looks over Esmeralda before speaking. How are your injuries?
They are better, considering the circumstances. But I probably would not be standing here if it wasn't for your intervention, and for that you have my thanks. And she walks over to you slowly, and she puts out her hand like, she's trying to get your hand.
She's gonna blink blankly for a moment before holding her hand out to Esmeralda.
And she takes your hand, takes Ivor's hand, and she, with her other hand, she places something small into the palm of your hand, and she closes your hand, and she just smiles. This is a token of my appreciation for what you have done.
Thank you. And just remember, it wasn't just me that helped. As she says before she looks at what's in her hand.
It's a small golden ring with a very polished blue stone set in the center of it. And as you look upon it, it seems very special. Can't quite put your finger on it, though.
What is this, if you don't mind my asking?
And as you ask that question, you hear a very sultry voice whisper into your ear, one that you haven't heard from a while. In fact, last time you heard it was in the Feywild. Ooh, I hope that's not a wedding ring. I do get jealous sometimes.
Amory shudders. Almost instinctively.
Willow shudders, almost instinctively, not knowing why.
The Archfey crush that you were making out with at Princess Dandelion's little party seems to be right there next to you on the bed. Though, what's really odd is it doesn't appear that Esmeralda can see her. Because Esmeralda's just looking at you like, "It is a ring that, when worn, will protect you from harm. I believe the commoners, the adventuring type, refer to it as a ring of protection." always have such unimaginable names for such trinkets.
Yeah, adventurers never seem to be the creative sort with names. And then she thinks to herself, can you hear me? Or am I just able to hear you? Or is this just thoughts to my head?
Oh, and
God, I'll never understand magic.
the Archfey says, "Oh, I can hear you, and we are having a conversation now, and I can think of a few creative things that we can do." And she's just kind of looking about, and well, for example, those ropes upon the canopy look like they can be put to much better use. Don't you think?
I was right.
You know, ring of protection. I think this ring just brought harm unto me. Though now I wonder if the sparrows will let me drink water again. So,
Are you okay? And Esmeralda's just kind of looking at you. She's got this like confused look as she's staring at Imri, who's almost seems like she's having another conversation that Esmeralda's not a part of.
honestly, it's been a long day.
Okay, well, I can understand. Well, if you don't have anywhere else to go at the moment, feel free to spend the night as my guest and get a well-rested, well-deserved rest. Come join us for breakfast in the morning. Just go to the main banquet hall. Our servants will show you the way. I'll leave you to your recuperation. And she again looks at you very oddly and just quietly closes the door behind her as your little archfey crush there just starts giggling, and she doesn't seem like she's very fun.
She does seem somewhat... strict isn't the right word. Though I'm pretty sure it might also have to do with the fact that she was stabbed by crazy people today.
Well,
God, that was confusing.
Well, why don't you tell me all about it? I'll make it all feel better. And we'll just say that the camera pans off and whatever happens behind closed door happens behind
Bow
closed
chicka
door.
wow wow bum ba da.
I'm not inserting anything in there. That's for Imri to fill in the blanks for that. So we're just
Welcome
gonna-
to D&D. No longer about fighting monsters and saving the world. Now it's about booty calls. Thank you.
Hey, listen,
Hey,
I am
hey,
having
it
to fight
summoned
the
men
monster
here,
at
didn't
the
it?
moment.
Yes, it did summon men here. That's why I said that too. I'm not excluding him.
Then here's the trendsetter. He's a pioneer.
Indeed, sir.
So, with that said, Imri, regardless of what happens during that point in time till the next morning, Imri does get a well-rested night. And in the morning, there is a little knock at the door as you hear another servant girl's voice just kind of knock. Lady, the breakfast is ready. We could give you a moment to get ready, and we can escort you down to the main dining hall.
She's gonna look at herself in the mirror before she answers. If
You are-
there's not anything...
You are alone in the room. Sometime during the evening, maybe whenever Imri finally fell asleep, your company had left the room.
Alright, she's just wanting to make sure that she's not a midget again.
No. You are not affected by some of the characteristics that happened before, as well, let's just say those are more part of the conditions in the Feywild. So you're okay right now, since you're back in the prime material plane. Though, as you look around, that the room is kind of a little mess from you just being there, relaxing and so forth. And the bathtub was nice.
Well, she doesn't have to deal with it. She's going to get herself ready. At least make sure to clean up any puddles that she sees, if there are any, and then she'll go down to eat, making sure she's dressed.
Okay. So, with that, let's... Now, I did have to kind of combine a few things here, but since there's so many things going on that people wanted to address, and things that need to be addressed that sadly could not be addressed prior session, and some of you already know what I'm talking about, I do have to kind of combine certain things. So in order for me to do that, I had to take a little liberties on certain actions, like when they trigger. So for this, Imrie, you are taken down the wood-paneled hallway, down the foyer steps, through a set of large oak doors that are very beautifully hand-carved, with a relief of what, at a cursory glance, assumed to be the nature of night and day in the realms of nature. As the doors are opened for you, there are long tables adorned with candles as the light from the outside pours in. Let's see. Some of the guests, and you can even see a few Daughters of Elora, not the same ones from the church, but these are other ones of the same order or sect that those were from. Dressed as much as you'd think a knight would be, but a knight to the goddess of beauty, so they are very, almost images mirroring perfection in terms of like looks, physicality, both of being something deadly yet beautiful. Most people here are eating breakfast, though they are separated by stations. Some of the knights here, such as the Daughters of Elora, are adorned in their gold-plated armor, taking little bites of their food with their almost envious, perfect skin. You, however, are being escorted to a table that seems to be more fit for a lord or lady rather than knights or the other lesser nobility or house guests.
Huh. Alright.
As you're seated down, some of the servants start bringing you plates of fruit, cheeses, breads. They ask you if you prefer, like quail or, pork. They're basically asking you what particulars you like for breakfast, maybe some kind of a hot spice soup, and they go through all the various types, even like, hot rolls, pork buns, things of that. They just start going over all these different delicacies.
Quail.
All right. And you see another servant come in with this tray, and they start cutting you right in front of you, like the bits of the quail, and giving to you on this plate with impeccable silverware. It's all lined out for you. And there's other spots at the table that you're at that has like seatings made with the silverware, but the other guests have not arrived yet. As you're being served your quail, Lady Esmeralda again enters the chamber, escorted by both a Stardew guard and a daughter of Allura. She is now wearing what seems to be a flowing purple dress that this one seems to more elegantly hug the curves of her body than the previous one. Again, wearing her hair pulled back, she just smiles politely in your direction and takes a seat at the table that you're at, Imrie.
Imrie's apart from the rest of us, right?
Yes.
I thought so.
Well, sort of. Before a conversation can begin, Imrie, a servant quickly enters and whispers something into Esmeralda's ears. And she kind of has this quizzical look on her face. And then she begins to whisper something into the servant's ear. Do you try to listen? Imrie?
Would it be obvious if I was listening?
Well, depends. I mean, you can try to hide the fact that you're listening. Do you want to try to do that?
Nah, she won't listen.
Okay, so you let them discuss whatever with that. Okay. On that note, after whatever's been whispered, and you hear Esmeralda, now this she speaks in a more audible tone to the servant girl. Well, bring her in then. She could sit here with us while she waits. Will give us time to talk with such unique guests. And Imrie, after a few moments, you see entering the chamber two people that you are very familiar with. You see a Eladrin and a Dryad walk in, Willow and Hal, as they are brought into the hall and they are sat down at your table not too far away from you. Now, Willow, you mentioned that you wanted to return the sword to the Knight of Allura from the temple.
Yeah,
This
I probably
particular
shouldn't
knight
keep.
is currently stationed here. This gives you a chance to come into your once family estate, the family keep here in Aurora, and under the guise of Willow the Dryad, Hal is more or less acting as your hype man. This creature from the Feywild, this Dryad, Hal the Eladrin, is kind of buffing up as a special visit and wanting to talk with that Knight of Lore to return what can only be assumed something of such brilliance to either be some sort of holy relic or maybe family relic, and you just doing your duty to return that respectfully. As such, you are both invited to join the morning breakfast and also to speak with the house lady. As she is piqued, as she's kind of intrigued by your visit. It's very rare that one gets to talk to such unusual guests.
Oh, hi, Imri.
Hi,
know-
Willow.
You two know each other? That's Esmeralda asking this.
Yes, we are quite familiar with each other. We met, like, how many months ago was it now? I'm so glad to see you're well, Lady Esmeralda. I mean, you know, I wasn't sure that magic was going to work on you from that range, but thank goodness it did. Oh, I came to return this sword. I
Oh,
got
they've
a
already
little
taken the
damn-
sword, like, to the side. They're summoning the knight to come meet with you about the weapon.
Yeah, it got a little damaged, but you know, it did the job.
Let's see. Right. So, what brings you to our fair city of Aurora? Is quite a bit of a trek from the Feywild.
Just kind of stare at Imri, realizing nothing's been said, and I go, "Oh well." You know, I'm here at behest of Newt to address some problems, some falsehoods that have been spread.
About Newt.
Well, not so much about Newt. She wants me to, you know, help protect her forest, and there's some darkness attacking the tree. I'm here to fix some wrong hoods.
So she sent you to check on the sacred tree in the promenade.
Yep.
Interesting. I always thought that it was a gift from the Feywild or some other happening of circumstance between our worlds that caused that tree to come into existence. I would be intrigued to find out more about its origins, and but that may be a conversation for another time. Tell me, how are you liking Aurora compared to the Feywild?
Lying out through my teeth. Well, I actually didn't spend much time in the Feywild. Ever since I was born, I've been in Reldon.
Well, then, that's quite a bit of ways. What was your business in Reldon? What did Newt send you to there about? Is there to be another tree there as well?
No. I'd love to share more with you, but unfortunately, can't quite discuss these kinds of things out in the open. A lot of cultists and bad rumors spreading around.
Yeah, I do apologize about that. The cults are becoming more crazed by the day, and, well, their attacks more and more frequent. We're trying to find those involved with the cults in hopes to end the suffering that they cause. But we need to find who's orchestrating the attacks and why. Don't think these are just random attacks by madmen. But But that's not a conversation for now. And Hal's going to kind of just... And such a lovely keep that you have here. And he's trying to guide the conversation to some neutral points and getting her to talk about the family keep, things that you already know, but he's just like asking her these questions about it and kind of try to help keep her somewhat distracted, and be asking too many pointed questions about your purposes.
Oh, it's fine, Hal. It's fine. I'd like to help you deal with these threats.
And as you make that offering, there's some footsteps that follow. As you see, the daughter of Allura arrive. She looks like she may have been busy sparring or training. She's still a little bit sweaty. Her hair's kind of pulled back in a tight ponytail. She's made up as best she could be. It looks like very quickly, but she doesn't have the full knight garb that everybody else has. But even what would be worse for wear for her is still leagues better than most people on their best day. And she comes there and stands respectfully at attention in the presence of your sister. And Esmeralda speaks. Ah, yes. It appears that this triad has something of yours, something that was lost or left at the Temple of the Wonderbringer. And she just kind of looks over towards you, Willow. If you want to present the girl with her weapon that you said you wanted to return.
Right, I tried to clean it up a bit better, you know. I'm something of a blacksmith myself, but things kind of acid eroded.
And she looks at it and she's just kind of like, her eyes are wide, like, what did you do to the sword? Kind of look, but she's not saying anything. And then after that brief look up, she just kind of smiles and just, thank you for returning my sacred weapon. And you just see her just kind of holding it. She like almost wants to cry because it's damaged.
Look, it almost killed the big bad thing. I mean, I had to use a pew leg instead, but I mean, you know, definitely kind of sort of did the job.
And one of the servants comes out, the one that she was whispering with, your sister Esmeralda, comes back with one of the house soldiers who's carrying a rather long box, closed wooden box, and gently places it near the table and opens it up. Inside is like red cushioned velvet, and there's this beautiful long sword inside. Esmeralda takes it and just kind of slowly looks at it and places it down on the table in front of you, Willow. Well, Imri did say that she was not alone in assisting during the battles, and, well, seems like you're there. And since you returned the weapon for the daughter of Allura here, who's already kind of going off and just like still holding the sword like an injured puppy, you know? She gives you this elegant sword. Well, then I guess this is for you then. A token of thanks for your heroism during such a abrasive conflict with those damned cultists.
Shiny.
kind of looking over the blade and looking at the edge of it, seeing the inscriptions and some of the... This is a remarkable weapon. Is it the family heirloom? No, it's it is very well, it is something from our treasury. And as he's looking over it, I'm just trying to get his result here. He speaks a word in Elvish. And as he does so, the whole blade seems to slowly become covered in a sheen of frost. Well, Willow, seems that Lady Esmeralda has gifted you with a very magnificent Frostbrand blade. This is quite a treasure, my lady. Thank you. This is quite a gift. And he gives it to you, Willow. Hal just kind of hands it to you.
Willow's gonna get teary. Thanks, Ezzy. I mean, Lady Esmeralda. If you'll excuse me.
Right. I hope this token is acceptable. Think of it as hospitality and goodwill between your people and ours. Do you stay for breakfast?
Yeah, she'll stay for breakfast.
Okay.
Although that drastically increased the chances of her saying something very stupid.
Well, Hal is there to kind of help kick you in the shin or, under the table. And once breakfast is done, that is, that is when you can collect Imri to leave with you. So
Imri, you did tell her, right, that I was a dryad, and I'm not going to leave here and find out that I'm going to be hunted.
I didn't even have a chance when I was going to be able to. That one archfey that I made out with appeared.
You didn't do anything you're going to regret, right? Oh, no, you did, didn't you?
Is this where
If she gives her finger guns.
See, that's where Imri would go, well, you see, Willow, Aurora's a free place, right? And people are free to do what they want. Well, your sister, Esmeralda, she is very, very free.
Sound like my kind of lady. I'm just kidding.
All of a sudden, Menhir appears.
Did someone say they need some help? Yeah, I bust in the wall like the Kool-Aid man. Pooh, oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
Right, so that letter that got burnt up, I spent the night making up a second one. I'm going to hand this off to one of the guests as we leave and start booking. Come on, let's go back to the...
Okay.
Okay.
See, it's a letter saying, Please stop saying these mean things about me, sis. I wasn't there. I don't look like that anymore. Thanks for the. Oh my God. P.S. Thanks for the sword. Howie, run. I actually
God,
had a
why
full
do
letter,
people-
but I.
So you're basically flat out telling her that you're Willow.
After I've made a decent clearing away. But I'll also say I've been this way for weeks. I have witnesses. That couldn't have been me.
Iris, once they're out of eyesight, face palming and thinking to herself, yeah, I don't know why her own sister thinks she's doing something like this. Eri is 100% not that conniving or intelligent.
Okay.
Airheads are not good at assassination attempts.
All right. Well, let's move on to another night here, where we can get everybody back in. So, the streets of Aurora lately have grown cold in the past few months. Once past the massive stone walls at the main gates, one is greeted with the bustle of the merchants trading in the main squares. The streets wind, revealing the splendor of the Falls of Aurora, the arcs of Fangport, and Aurora's harbor, the Hydra canals that snake their way through the temple and government districts. And at the center of it all, even dwarving the massive Colosseum, is a tree. A tree that stands hundreds of feet tall, filled with nourishing fruit that grows all year round, free for anyone to take. The tree is alive, but has also been hollowed out and thrives as its own ecosystem and makeshift town, really. This massive tree is known to all as the Nymph's Rest. Inside, there's loud music and even louder merriment that can be heard. Only one establishment inside this monumental magical tree could achieve such a feat, and almost on a nightly basis. The Busy Bee Tavern. The multi-floored inn and tavern that has rooms for rent and dining for all sorts of travelers and visitors to the rest. Aspiring bards play together, trying to earn fame and fortune. Many hard-working common folks sit at tables with mugs filled with spiced ales, enjoying hearty meals after long days in the fields, mines, or the busy life of Aurora's massive walls. Tavern workers glide past the massive bodies holding platters of food and drink over their heads as they make their ways to and from the grateful patrons. The room filled with the smells of delicacies being brought to each table. You all, with the exception of Mordecai, which we'll get to in a minute, have arrived separately this night, piecemeal, into the tavern on this cold winter's evening.
Discord keeps lagging out for me. Did you say a minute or two?
Yes. In
Okay.
fact, so basically you all gathered here of your own accords, to kind of relax, to meet up. This is where you all have met up multiple times already. It's a nice public place. It's safe. You can get good food and have a good time while discussing all sorts of things in relatively private accommodations. Now, let's see here. So some things that are going on, one of which is Sunosha is quite busy drinking and dancing and singing with merriment of the minstrels that are about. Her tab being covered for by Willow. Hal is there, who helped to set that up, as that was something that was discussed that wanted to be done as a thanks for Senosha's involvement during the chaos of the temple and saving of Willow's life. So she is thoroughly enjoying and celebrating. Now, while she is doing this, what is Barth doing?
Well, Barth's just sort of sitting off to the side, not really drinking, not really drawing much attention to himself, watching,
Okay.
enjoying the.
Yeah, and I mean, other people are dancing, with her, just not like, Selene, just like a group of people just having a good time dancing. Almost like, I want to say like Woodstock or Burning Man, kind of. It's just a bunch of people just in a group dancing, Nobody's getting fresh or anything like that with her, making moves on your girl. They're just laughing, having a good time. Even one of those Chimera mercenaries that was from the temple. The one that kind of looked like almost like a porcelain doll with pale blue hair and glowing blue eyes. She seems to be kind of dancing with the group here. In fact, quite a few other ones from that temple are there as well. So, speaking of other people that you saw at the temple that are here, in fact, probably one that the rest of you may be interested in wanting to do a little bit more about, is the one called Menhir that helped break the exit to the church, allowing everybody to escape. Now, Menhir...
Yeah, he's a little hard to miss. He's very big.
He is quite big, but speaking of things that are quite big in terms of Menhir, Menhir, at your table, sitting down at your table, is this muscled blue and white scaled dragonborn. She is clad in heavy plate with a large maul piece bonded to her back.
Bothering me.
She sits dwarving the table and chair, making both look like they were made for a child. Almost similar to how Menhir does, because Menhir is kind of big, but he doesn't make it look like a kindergarten chair. And she looks at you, Menhir. Menhir, it is good to see you again. It is not every day a woman meets a man who really knows how to handle his hammer. She was one of the Chimera
Yep.
in the church battle.
You're funny. You're funny, Dave. Good God. And you're embarrassing. The thing like...
Menhir got her attention in more ways than one.
Hello?
Hello?
Damn it. I don't know what's going on, but it's my Discord is lagging for some reason every few minutes. So I missed part of what you said. You said she's a Goliath woman?
No, she's a Dragonborn. She's a blue.
Oh, a Dragonborn.
Yep.
Okay, damn. I didn't know Dragonborn wanted to get freaky with men there too. Well, ma'am, skill with a hammer is in fact one of my strong suits.
Well, doesn't seem to be your only strong suit. Can I buy you a drink?
As many drinks as you want to buy me, I'll drink. I'll never turn down a request for a lady to buy me a drink. Be my guest, please.
So, where are you from, handsome?
Well, I'm from not from here. I'm from a faraway place. I suppose they kind of explained it to me that this ain't even my world. I think my world was called Tal'Dorei, and we ain't there no.
Interesting. Tell me more about this Tal'Dorei. And she's just kind of, making conversation with you.
Was I right that the world's called Tal'Dorei?
Yeah, I mean that is the world with that. Because we were playing that the character was from Matt's world. That
Yep.
we were playing in another campaign. So, as you are speaking with her here, what is let's see.
Dave, you're testing me here. You're testing Miner's hornets because this is a dragonborn. She ain't even soft and.
Well, I mean, she may be, warrior woman, but she could probably treat a man right.
This is highly annoying that it keeps doing that.
You may have to, you might have to restart your Discord.
Yep, sounds like it. I'll be back.
All right. So, while waiting for Rick to restart that, Willow and Imrie, you both are also arriving in here piecemeal. Seeing Barth sitting down, peacefully drinking, watching Sunosha dance. You see that stranger that helped save you, talking with a dragonborn woman who was one of the mercenaries from the church. And you see one of the other mercenaries dancing in the same group as Sunosha. You also see another one, the smaller one, the little gnome. She appears to be very energetic. She's busy scribbling over what appears to be some sort of a set of blueprints that lay on the center of a very messy table. She pulls out a stick of chalk from her leather vest that is buttoned over her yellow flowery dress. She pulls on a pair of very thick-looking goggles from the top of her pink ponytailed head, and the goggles amplify the size of her eyes almost to comedic proportions.
I'm trying not to giggle at that.
Well, while you're trying not to giggle at that, along the crowded bar, the smell of alcohol is quite strong, probably from the untold quantities having been spilt and soaked into the wood over the years. Most people here are enjoying themselves and enjoying others' companies and good spirits. The many mugs of ales clash together in cheer. All except one. There's a man that you recognize from the church, one of the other mercs. Wears a duster as he slams down a shot, wiping his 5 o'clock shadowed chin after what seems to be the latest in a series of shots. The empty shot glass he slams down hard on the counter again and again and again, in visible frustration upon his brow as he brushes his hair from his eyes. He then takes a draw from a nearby cigar, and you can see clearly under his duster that he has no less than 6 handguns, which are all holstered, in some sort of a specially, like a custom-made vest. With his gloved hand, he raises 2 fingers to signal the barkeep for another round.
How dare he? We're having a good time here, and he's being all sad and mope.
Okay, Ari. Go talk to him then and make him happy.
I got a plan.
Is this like a
I'm
memory plan where
scared.
she like kills people?
No. Saying I have a plan is about as far as my plan goes.
Ah, so your plan is to have a plan. I get it.
I have a plan which involves me coming up with a plan.
I got it. Okay, Hal, I need you to pay off some of the bards. I
For
need you to
what?
play. I'm gonna take the stage and I'm gonna start sword dancing. And I'm gonna sing, and it's gonna be an amazing performance, and everybody's gonna be happy and distracted.
Restricted for what?
Look, that's not my part of the plan to figure out.
What?
Like, why is a distraction required? Is what they're saying. Out of character, in character voice. What the fuck's wrong with you, Anthony?
So
Hey,
how?
look, I just kind of want to go up there and dance for a while.
I mean, the people are dancing right now. Why don't you just go with them now? Why do we have to pay bards money? We're already paying that half our girl to drink. And, oh my god! I'm surprised she's not dead with how. Oh my god! The tab she is building up. She is going to bankrupt us.
Look. This is the second time I've been almost dead, and she gets a night on our tab.
Fine.
Okay, Imri, I need you to throw something and distract him so he looks over at my direction. That should get him away from his alcohol. And if it doesn't, I need Elodia to steal his drinks.
Whose?
Mr. Sad Gunman, Mr. Big Man.
Oh, okay. I had to restart my whole computer, so I missed.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry.
Willow, are you real?
Look, okay.
Are any of us real? That's the real question here.
No
I
existential
will slap
crises,
your-
please.
All right, look, I just found out that all of my family members died and tragic deaths are being blamed on me. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be coming to execute me, despite the fact that there's no proof whatsoever. That
So about
cult killed
distracting
Mr.
that
Dragon, and
I don't
I'm
hear it.
crying.
I
You're
don't hear it.
crying.
I'm too busy talking to the Dragonborn lady, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe I made a
Don't
mistake,
worry.
Dave.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe I made a mistake. I got involved with some crazy people.
Manor's having second thoughts.
I mean, to be fair, Manu should be fairly used to this by now.
Oh no, it's. Oh, don't worry, it's gonna get even
Yeah.
more crazy. Okay, so your plan is to somehow steal or separate this man from alcohol in a crowded bar that does nothing but serve alcohol and spirits to their guests on request.
No, see, that's the plan if the distraction doesn't work. We're trying to get him away from the bar, or at least focusing elsewhere. And if that doesn't work, we're stealing his drinks. which I assume nobody's actually going to steal his drinks, and the night will continue on.
House. Willow. I know this
She
may
gets-
sound crazy, but I have an idea. Okay.
She gets teary-eyed. Okay, what idea?
Why don't you just, go talk to him?
But I already took Barth's alcohol glass to throw it at him.
Yeah, Amory just hears part of the plan and doesn't wait for anything.
Improvises.
Yeah,
Improvises,
she's already-
adapts, and overcomes.
I mean, she's already in the process of throwing it.
Barth snatches it back from her before she can,
Uh,
and he just gives her a look like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Willow wanted Willow thing.
Fine, all my ideas are stupid. I'll
Yeah,
just
when you
charge
put
over.
when you put it like that, Willow wanted Willow thing. That does that's a sad testimony.
Fine, all my ideas are stupid. And she'll just go charge over there, slam down next to him, and order a drink.
God damn it! Look, guys, we gave her depression. Now she's drinking.
So, alright, well, you slam down sitting next to this guy, and as you just kind of hop on the bar seat next to him, just kind of looks over at you with his green eyes, and takes about a second or so with the alcohol to... Oh, hello, Cher. Glad to see you doing better, eh?
All right, why the fuck we got Gambit up in our game?
Okay, maybe I should have just thrown the mug at him.
Don't worry about it.
It's not just Gambit, it's a Louisiana thing.
Yeah, it's the
No, I know I'm
USS
messing.
Cajun.
He sounded just like Gambit.
The actual the Louisiana term for it is coon ass, but we're not going to go into the origins of that. So, but yeah,
Milk and cookies.
Pretty sure we can
No.
all figure that out.
Here's your potion back. Thanks, though.
Accept the potion. You keep it.
No, you keep it. I'm fine.
That
But
makes
thanks,
one of
though.
us. And he slams another shot.
Wait, what's wrong? You survived. Everybody survived. Everything's good.
Not everyone survives, yeah. It's not all fine. Not even Chimera no more. They cut us loose after what happened at the temple. We were supposed to protect the people, eh? Instead, they are dead.
You protected the people, just not, all of the.
I mean, just
Min-
You protected me.
Minner
that's
does
somebody.
say a toast to the fallen lady.
and takes the opportunity to have
Just
another
that
shot. Just
That
that
is
one.
correct.
the one.
Yeah, no, only one of the
Golden Daughters died. Yeah.
the Golden Daughters died. That's the only one he
Yeah, just
He
that
truly
one
mourns.
person. Yeah, just that one person that died in the giant massacre.
Well, that's the only one of importance to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, after another shot gets slammed and pounded down, he points to the other people that you saw in the church. He points to the little gnome girl. He points to the dragonborn. He points to the little marionette woman. You see them? They trust me. Trust me to make the right call for what is best for everyone. Chimera pay good, but that all gone now, and They wait to hear what next. And he takes another shot, slams the glass down. Truth is, Cher, I have no idea.
Well, you know, there's always work. I mean, there's a big evil coming to smash our country, you know. There's a bunch of evil cultists. Heck, Geraldin, lost a whole bunch of people in an attack on it recently. There's plenty of work for you. Come on. No need to be sad.
There was work. The military came knocking at Chimera's door recently. Big pay. They're looking for volunteers. They were looking for people for something called Project Pegasus. Something to do with that general fella. Kale, I think his name was. He running the show now, Cher.
I mean, like, isn't he a war hero?
Well, if you call a murdering death machine with a whole army at his beck and call a hero, then sure, he's a hero, eh?
When you put it like that,
I heard stories that the man that he tore armored knights and Umber Hulks alike in half with his bare hands.
that's, well, thankfully we haven't upset him anyway, right?
And on that note, Mordecai comes into the tavern.
Where have I been this past day?
You've been getting research. Research. But on your way to the tavern, Mordecai, as you are leaving the libraries with your research, your notes that you've taken, the scrolls that you've gathered, and as you make your way towards the Busy Bee Tavern inside of Nib's Rest, time almost seems to go slower than normal. Colors around Mordecai begin to fade. You see a falling petal catch your eye as it freezes seemingly in place, defying gravity almost. Then, Mordecai, you hear a familiar voice as a blinding white light shines down upon you. It is the voice of your angelic guide, the one that you've known almost all of your life.
I dropped to one knee.
Mordecai, you don't have to do that. We're all on the same team. We all are equals in the eyes of the greater powers. Mordecai, I need to talk to you about what you mentioned about the Infernal Scepter.
Yeah?
What the Infernal Scepter says is true. They have contacted others to inform a want for a temporary truce. And yes, the Nemesis does threaten them as they do us. Welcome back. But, Mordecai, be wary of dealings with them. Remember, They choose this course of action because it benefits them most, not us.
Well, I was not going to act unless I was given some direction from either you or the Celestial Torch. This is too big of a decision for me to make on their behalf.
As we have told the others in your position with their recent contacts, keep your vigilance. Let us know if you discover or uncover why this course of action benefits them so favorably that they would risk meeting our agents in such a public eye.
And I will meet with them. Perhaps I will see if there's anything I can do for them that would have some mutual benefit between both of our causes. I will, of course, let you know before I actually carry it out, just in case.
Very well. Good luck, Mordecai. May the heavens light and blessings be upon you.
Thank you. With you.
And the blinding light begins to fade away. As it does, the colors seem to return back to the surroundings. The petal begins its descent once more into the inn as it falls down outside the railing, just gently gliding to the floor below. And then you make your way into the Busy Bee Tavern, scrolls in hand, research also in hand. Do you want to share your findings with everyone?
I'll go to Willow first.
Willow's at the bar drinking. You approach Willow. What do you do?
I'll sit down next to her and set the scrolls in a pile on the bar. Willow. Hello.
Are these what I think these are?
Yeah, these are the findings that I have. You're welcome to look over them. I'd be happy to go over them with you. With the others, preferably in a more private place.
Okay, if you want to go get everybody gathered. And, Mr. I didn't catch your name.
Well, others call me Striker, but, you know, since the joke's already been made, why not just go full 4? But you can call me Remy.
Okay, well, Remy. I think I just got the joke.
Hey, Rook started it, so I might as well just roll with it.
I knew it.
Right, well, I'm gonna go talk with my friends. And when I get back, we're gonna make you less sad. We're gonna drag you out into that dance floor. You know, you can deal with the sad world in the morning. And he can make a will save.
Wait, the Striker?
Yes.
What are you
He
doing?
does not. I am going to go ahead and use the Dryad ability. He wants to be my friend now, as I charm him.
And he's drunk, so he's got disadvantage on this.
He's not getting my +5 this time.
It's a good thing he's got disadvantage on that. What's the DC on that? Because it made him drop a 19 that he rolled.
14.
All right. He just kind of looks at you and just the faintest smile appears on his face. And, you know, Shia, that sounds mighty good.
Good. All right, we'll be back. See, Mordecai, that's how you save the world, one person at a time.
Sure.
Actually, that's probably ironically, that's probably one of the wisest fucking things Willow has ever said. Save the world
Yeah.
one person at a time. That actually makes total fucking.
Wait, does that mean
Well-
she's
well,
not really
you know.
Willow? Maybe she's
Well,
a
you know.
doppelganger.
Doppelganger!
Well, you know, stop clock is right twice a day.
Quick,
Yeah.
crush your fucking head.
Hey, look, I tried the Save the World en masse, and that hasn't paid off too well yet. So we're going to start small, then work.
That is fair. All right. So, when you gather everybody, where do you gather? Like, do you just go to your own little private booth, or do you go somewhere else entirely? What do you do?
I guess we'd go to my room.
Okay. So,
Wait, Hal, stay here. Keep an eye on Senosha. Try to keep her drinking under a certain level, please.
it's what I've been warning you about.
I mean, that's a problem you brought on yourself.
And now it's Hal's problem.
You gave a
Bye.
you gave a drunken master an open bar.
Now it's Hal's problem.
But
Okay, fine. You can have an open drink night too.
Miss Willow, there's one other thing that you should know. He points at the very large gentleman who's talking to a rather smitten dragonborn. That gentleman over there, the Fearless Landers, they've asked us to do a special favor. And seeing as how they think you're from another world, they thought, well, you would be best for this favor, as apparently that gentleman is not from this world. The gentleman seems to have a desire to explore this world. They're not sure exactly why he is here, or when he is leaving, but they're not sure how much of a threat he might be to the realm. While he does not seem to appear to have a lot of aggression, he is quite gifted in the martial sense. As he appeared one day in the Queen's Arch arena, unarmed, and took out all the combatants unarmed, and has been, let's just say, undefeated ever since.
Ooh.
But he does not appear to have the desire to stay and be a gladiator. He wants to explore this world, and they want to keep eyes on him. So I think it is best that you speak with this Menhir, Sarston, as it looks like he will be traveling with us very soon.
He seems to like pretty ladies. I got no.
That's the understatement of the century. You have no idea.
Okay. I need Elodia, and I need
What do you want us to do?
So apparently, he's going to be coming with us, and he's like super. So I don't know if we have to convince him or not. So we're just going to throw all three of us at him, and then kidnap him upstairs. Or we can just ask him,
No, I've got an idea.
Did you say kidnap me upstairs?
She's gonna stab him, isn't she?
We're going to take him back to Mordecai's room.
I have an idea. This is like a sting operation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not, since he seems very horny, go, yo, I know where to get some mad bitches, and lead him up to Mordecai's room.
Just straight up, hey you, I know where to get some mad bitches. Come this way.
All right, so we've got a bad idea, Elodia.
I don't know. I think he's gonna be upset if you tell him there's gonna be some whore waiting for him, and then there's nobody.
At the end of what we need you to do. There we go.
No. Bad Imri. Okay. Elodia, I need you to go up to him and tell him that we need to hire a bodyguard to help us.
Okay, I could do that. Or why not just, talk to him and tell him what we need?
I mean, I guess we could do that, too. This is why you're so amazing, Elodia. You think of the best plans.
All right, so what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna follow Elodia to do a plan that doesn't involve blackmail, kidnapping, or other
Mad
questionable
bitches.
decisions.
Or like 10 other felonies, yeah.
Well, Imru will follow them, prepared to throw the hook of mad bitches.
You still got that ready to go in your back pocket. Okay, so...
I mean, she's also still holding the mug, ready to throw it at Stryker.
No, Barth took that back.
Shit.
We could just go talk to the man. He seems the adventurous type.
Yeah, let's buy him a drink and then talk to him.
So, on that note, Menhir, during your time with the Dragonborn here, who goes by the name of Valkyrie.
Okay, just as they're making this decision, he decides that he's going to try a little of the reptilian persuasion, just to say he did. So he's going to go upstairs with the Dragonborn.
So he's sealing the deal.
Yeah, if you want to go somewhere more private, I got something to show you that might be too.
Ugh. Is This, I would greatly be interested in seeing your take and techniques. And as she's kind of like leaning closer, giving you the little eyes, that's when this gaggle of adventurers comes around your table with beers in hand.
Damn it! Freaking medieval cock blockers.
You know the saying, once you go dragon, your tail will be wagging.
Do you just have like a freaking note card somewhere on your desk with a list of these jokes? Like you're flipping through them throughout the session, waiting for that opportunity?
No, I'm just awesome. They come to me.
So,
You think I can plan this? No.
all right, well, you all are at this table where this young man is speaking with this dragonborn warrior who seems to be quite smitten with him. As you all bring the drinks to kind of persuade this gentleman, what do y'all do?
They just come to the
There's
table
an
and
awkward silence.
stand there staring at him like a group photo, and he's like, "Can I help you?"
Okay, if you guys don't speak, I will, and I know you all don't want me to, so say something.
Willow, say something.
Ma'am, you can talk as much as you want. You got a voice like an angel.
And she doesn't
Yep.
talk.
Yep, guess not then.
Just like,
All
I
right.
just hide behind Willow.
She just comes up with the idea. She's not really the executor, you know. So,
Oh my god. Listen, hey, so I
So we
don't
need
know
some
you.
help.
I ain't never seen none of y'all before. Maybe we should start at introductions, perhaps, and that way you can feel more at ease. If you, he stands up in his 6'11" height,
yeah.
with the maul leaning on the table, and he looks around at y'all. He goes, "Greetings, I'm Menir Sarson. Pleased to meet you. What's your name?"
I'm Willow. You're really tall. Here, let me get a chair.
I am Barth Brightwood. My
Nice to meet you,
associates-
Barth. And he gives you the warrior's arm clasp.
Now, Barth has a,
Yeah.
a metallic arm.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
when I mean metallic, it's
Wait a
like
minute.
Winter
Hold
Soldier
on.
metallic, like all the way
Hold
to the
on a
shoulder.
second. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, how tall?
6'1".
Okay, so wow. All right, that's a pretty big. He leans down a little bit and looks at your arm and goes, "That is damn interesting, sir. How the hell did that happen?"
It's rather a long story. A long and irritating story.
Now, men here, when he tells you his name, you remember bards singing tales of him in a place called Reldon. Apparently, he's a hero there.
Oh, you the hero of Reldon. I heard about them bars be singing of.
Apparently, he killed a titan
Nice.
in like 5 seconds.
You
flat.
killed a titan in 5 seconds.
Rode off
That
on a
is
griffin.
impressive.
He tried to save the town and soldiers from lament, people getting slaughtered. So,
Willow breaks out in a song.
Well, that's highly exaggerated. Well, that's highly exaggerated and several inaccuracies, and wasn't the only one there, but the heart of it, I guess you could say, is true. But my companions and
Wait a
I.
minute. Not to interrupt you, hero Barth, but I only heard like 2 people's names so far, and There's a lot of other names. So why don't we get through the introductions and then tell me what you need. And
Fair enough. Would the
my
rest of you
courtesy
like
just
to-
shut everybody up too.
Well, my name is Imri Ahaslut. The name
And-
is weird, yes, I know.
My name is Bree. Sorry, Alodia.
Good Lord. People getting good Lord, people getting flustered, don't know what the hell they're doing. Are they in the
Elodia's
game or
Bree
is it real?
showing.
Yeah, that's funny. All right then. Well, Valkyrie, do you mind if they join us since they obviously need?
Well,
Yeah, she minds. Inside, she's going, "You motherfuckers!" I
uh,
almost had him.
go see what they want, but don't keep me waiting too long, handsome.
Ma'am, you might be the first lady I ever thought was too much for me. Hold on.
Guys, we're interrupting his booty call.
Willow, with that freaking nat 20, is still breaking out in song about Barth.
And Barth's just standing.
Dude.
visible, just
She's
Bart
singing
sounds
about
like
the-
a fucking epic ballad hero with 28 performance. He's like hero of the fucking world.
Yeah,
Wait.
Willow is singing the Ballad of Barth.
Question, is there
Good
a
for you,
piece
Bart.
of bread somewhere nearby?
I mean,
That's-
technically, a ballad is a tragic song. So, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the appropriate.
Well, it is because the end of this
Disruptive.
eventually you'll be dead. But that's all.
Oh yeah, no, that's 100%. Okay. Well, my associates and I were couldn't help but notice your eagerness to act in the horrible mess that was at the church a few days ago, and we were intending to inquire about your assistance in other matters that we
Hold on a second here. Is this I got it from like the Fearless Lander folks?
Yeah, we were here to pick you up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was told a group of people might be coming to see me about some of that work for them Fearless Lander dudes. I mean, I'm good on coin, but my nature is to help those who cannot help themselves. And just fighting in the pits all the time, don't really do that. Makes good money.
Oh, I
Oh.
gotcha.
Oh, that makes this
Oh yeah,
much
probably,
simpler.
probably even more engaging than his size is the fact that his eyes are solid silver, like the whole thing's no pupils or anything like that. They're just solid silver.
Well, that's not the strangest thing Barth's seen.
Ooh.
So, man, y'all are talking a bunch. Not really, but you know. What can I do to make you more at ease? You want me to sit down so I'm not like standing over anybody or whatever? Yeah, he sits back down.
We're gonna go upstairs to talk about some stuff that my friend here looked up. So come on, let's get moving.
Well, dang it.
We interrupted your booty call, didn't we?
It's all right. It's all right. It's a sign. It's a sign from the gods. I ain't never laid with the Dragonborn, so I was kind of curious. I was about to give in to the temptation to see what it was like, but shit, they're not really soft. They're kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Excuse me a moment, please.
Oh no, trust me, they are soft. It has a little bit of a rubbing sensation to it that catches on the skin, and then she turns around and walks away.
Firth just
Interesting.
has a look on his face that says, "I'm surrounded by idiots."
No, you're surrounded by horn dog crazy mofos, but hey, that's just the way life is. So pardon me a second, Valkyrie. I must apologize, but I have to go with these fine people, the Fearless Lander business. So here you go. Next drink's on me. He throws down 2 gold coins and says, "You have a lovely evening now, lady. Take care of yourself."
She lets out this long, exasperated sigh. Just hates to see Minir go, but she loves watching him leave.
Probably for a reason, like I said, man. Nothing happens without a purpose.
So, speaking of purpose, you all go to Mordecai's room to discuss what he has found. So, let me share some of these notes here. Now, Mordecai, feel free if you would like to read these out loud, or I can. Just let me know which you'd prefer. As
I can.
Share the first research note with everyone.
I'm good at reading.
I also have this here as well.
So I guess I will go over. Who is this?
He's talking about men here.
Fuck if I know.
Greetings. Name's Minir Sarson. Pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
Mordecai will stand. He's dressed in his celestial robes that he got. He walks over and offers his hand. I am Sergeant Mordecai of Sahala Military. Servant of the gods and of the Platinum Sun.
Dang it! You tell it. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Minir leans down toward Mordecai. Are you telling me that you worship my buddy Click?
That is what some
Click!
people call him.
Click, damn it! Does this guy, you got a whole following of people that he done fooled into worshiping you?
Mordecai, looking completely baffled, will pull out his holy symbol and show it to him.
Yeah, well, I'm not too happy with your God right now. He didn't open the damn door when I asked him to. What good is a God if he can't help? Especially after I saved his life, little ungrateful bastard.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, I found all about.
Kind of...
I found out all about what Click been up to since he came here. After they thought I'd.
Thank goodness I'm the same one here.
Laughing at them.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what you mean.
All right,
the
let me.
Platinum Sun.
Your God was my friend
He is a friend to many people.
when he was a mortal little kobold dude.
There are some artworks that show him as something resembling a kobold.
Yeah, little Click. He's a damn good healer. He's a good friend. He was. So, see,
It's okay.
I'll break it down for you. I'm not from this place, and neither is he. I know that. I've heard lore about that. So, but time is weird in the multiverse, they told me. Something like that, right? Did I say the right word? Multiverse? Something about infinite possibility and alternate dimensions and realities and whatnot. Something like
Are you okay?
I'm not the
Yeah,
most crazy person in
let's-
the room.
Let's go with that.
Are you sure about this
let's
person?
go
Yeah.
with
They told me you can tell someone's from somewhere else with certain magic because every universe resonates with its own energy or something like that. So, for example, since I'm not from here, my energy is different than all of y'all's because I'm from a different universe.
Sure it does,
That's what
buddy. Sure
That's
it
what they
does.
told me. Them intellectual type. I'm actually not even human. I'm a Earth child. My mother's the Diamond Princess from the plane of.
I'm an Earth child too.
Why don't you sit here? Would you like me to get you some water?
I don't
Are you
drink.
feeling all right?
I don't drink water. I drink ale and
Oh,
wine.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the I don't drink water. Fish fucking it.
That too.
That seems very unhealthy.
No, wine will sustain you. It'll give you all what you need.
Will it?
Yeah, you just drink. You drink cheap wine. The wine kills the impurities in the water. It's called watered wine. You drink it, you don't get sick and things.
yeah.
I don't really drink. The
Not-
one
not to
time I
get
did
drunk.
drink did not
You
go
ain't-
well.
You ain't got to get like high potency wine. It can be cheap wine. Ale works too, just like that. It'll keep you hydrated.
I tend to
I
like the
lost my-
sweet ciders.
I lost my stuff. I used to have a decanter of endless water. I lost it.
I've
Had a
such
bag of hold and
thing.
lost it. Had an alchemist jug too. That was pretty cool. Lost it. The only thing I kept when I came here was my armor that I'm wearing. That's about it. Had to make a new maul. See, and he holds it out. It's made out of adamantine, just like my armor is.
And what about the engraving that you added?
The engraving on the top of the maul. What y'all see is the engraving of the what is it? Aludra?
Allura, the goddess. of
Allura, the goddess of beauty. Yeah, this is in honor of her because I love all things beautiful, and combat can be beautiful too if you do it right. So can smithing. So can lovemaking. Women. Ah, you're making me nostalgic. Milk and cookies, my friends. Milk and cookies.
Never has
character voice.
never has Mordecai looked so uncomfortable.
And he got to have a discussion face to face with 3 of his group's sworn enemies.
Yeah, the weird part. Well, I mean, what do you want to know about? I can tell you some stories about, Click if you want to. One time we was in a prison, and
In a prison.
yeah, one time we was in a prison. My little friend, some air demon thing tried to come kill us, and we were beating the crap out of it. It was pretty rough. But I saved his life. It was kicking my ass instead of his, so I was pretty much a meat shield for him. If I wouldn't have been there, he'd have probably died. Then you wouldn't have had the Platinum Sun God over here. So in a way, I made it possible.
And he still wouldn't open the damn door for you.
And
Sure
it still
you
wouldn't
did.
open the damn door.
Sure you did.
Irene now just drinking from a bottle of wine.
Look here. Look. Since you all don't believe what I'm saying, you look confused, think I'm crazy. I'll give you a brief synopsis of how I got here. That way you know I'm not crazy and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not from this world.
Go ahead.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
Can't hear me if I'm talking?
No, we just heard I'm from another world, and that was it.
What?
Yep.
Don't tell me it's doing it again.
I heard you.
Is it working? Okay, so anyway, I'm from another world, Tal'Dorei. So is Click. We met up, we had adventures. I saved his life at least a couple times, but he saved mine too. He's a good friend, like I said. And then we went to this battle in the arena, and I remember a green light hitting me, and then I woke up here in an arena here, but I didn't have my weapon because, see, right before that green light struck me, I had dropped my maul because the creature the thing we were fighting was immune to it. So I was muscle fucking it around. You know what that means, right?
No.
Here, let me give you an example. And he grabs Mordecai by the shoulders, picks him up, and then puts him. That
cut out. Puts him where?
No, he grabs Mordecai by the shoulders, lifts him up, and then turns around and places him behind, and then lets go of him. Using muscle power to move things where you want them to go. It's called muscle fucking. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Mordecai's hands are raised like he was about to cast a spell.
So anyway, I wake up here in this world. I still got my armor, don't have anything else. There's people.
You cut out. You're not talking.
Yeah, I think it's your
anymore.
push to talk that's messing it up.
It really?
Yeah, I think it's that.
I don't think so. Because it keeps having this. Anyway, so yeah, I'm here and I fought people, and then I stayed briefly at the Temple of Allura. Got to know a lot of those nice ladies over there. Good Lord, probably the best thing ever happened to me. And then when they kicked me out because they can't have me stand there, I asked Click to let me back in, and he didn't open the fucking door. So I'm a little pissed at him right now.
The door to the Temple
Yep.
of Allura.
Yep. Where all them ladies are. But you know, they come to visit me sometimes, so you know.
It's not his temple. I'll tell you what. The Temple of the Platinum Sun owes me a few favors.
Is it
Why don't we have some time after we discuss this more important stuff? We go over there and we see how credible this story is.
Oh, so you're calling me a liar?
I am worried that you are troubled.
Click
Trust
on
me.
the wire once.
Trust me, man. Trust me. I ain't a liar, and I'm not troubled either. I know exactly what.
We will see, and perhaps you will be able to speak with Click directly if you're so close of a friend of his.
Yeah, well, I guess that'd be kind of nice. I mean, I think for him, a lot of time has passed, and for me, not that much.
He has been a part of this world's mythology for quite some time.
How long?
If,
give me a number.
Dave?
A couple centuries at least.
At least a few centuries.
Damn, man, that temporal flux they talk about, it sure can be a large gap.
Right. Well, anyway, why don't we get back to the subject at hand. I take it in here you will be joining us on our adventures. You will be fighting alongside of us.
Yeah, the Fearless Landers told me to expect.
Okay. Well, were you here? Do you remember what happened in the streets here in Aurora less than a year ago? The
Nope,
God King-
only been here 2 months.
Okay.
But they told me
Well,
about what happened.
The raining of blood.
Yep,
Demons.
they told me about that. Yep.
Okay, well, I've been doing some research on the God King, the entity that appeared. I will share some of my findings with everyone, and we can decide what we want to do. Okay, so the first things that I uncovered was he was first mentioned as the blood god during the Age of Enlightenment. There was a rumor as one of the sorcerer kings from the supreme magocracy. They controlling most of Kelowna became so powerful. They accrued god followers like they were gods. The sorcerer kings who mastered the now lost form of blood magic. They harness the ancient magic of the dragons through their own blood. It doesn't sound like a very safe kind of magic to wield.
Now, what is known or rumored to be known about the magic they're talking about? The magic, the potency level magic they're talking about is the equivalent of magic more powerful than 9th level spells.
So 10th level spells.
Nope, that's like God tier magic.
Yeah,
No.
they are basically could harness the powers of creation, essentially.
Yeah, so God tier magic.
Yeah.
Ah, so 12th level spells. Got it.
Anyway, the other note here.
I'm not joking. 11th and 10th level spells actually do exist within the lore of D&D.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
Forgotten Realms.
yeah, and
But yeah.
yeah, the Nethri is the ancient magic in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
yes.
In 3.5, it gave you 10th level spell slots and epic levels, and you could craft your own spells, but that was some crazy difficult shit to do. Rules is written.
Donovan Kindred.
So, for a long time, they thought the Blood God and the Mad God was the same being, but that does not seem to be the case. Even though they both rose to power during the Age of Enlightenment, the Mad God was a child. As a child, he was vaunted the magocracy. Demonstrated a mastery of the blood magic and created a floating city of the Age of 12. The Blood God and the Sorcerer Kings enslaved pretty much everyone under their rule. Everybody else was killed. The Mad God controlled the one city that was free until the rise of the Exalted.
Pulling up the last note now.
The Sorcerer Kings and the Exalted, they fought wars against each other. So, there wasn't anything documented or said about direct conflicts between the Exalted and the Blood God. Some of the Sorcerer Kings believe that the Blood God saw the rise of the Exalted ahead of time and moved his empire of magic to another land. The land that we now call Sanctuary. So it was it was cut off by the arcane barrier.
Wasn't that the place that was rumored to have a regime change recently? Well, a few months back now.
Regime change, exiling of diplomats.
I'll let them know all of that as well. That was the end of the note.
I wonder if the Blood God moved back in. I wonder if they're good. This is a little disconcerting.
Well, I need magic. I need a better weapon. If we're gonna fight gods, I need my weapon needs to be improved drastically.
You need weapons?
I got a lot of weapons, but I need a weapon that can affect a god.
Well, I don't have one right now, but I will take a down payment and we'll start working on it.
You know, I did at one point have a.
Trust me, I make the best weapons around.
Minhyev, one of the things we are doing is preparing for.
At one point, I had a sword that was so good it got me like 500,000 gold when I sold it.
Is that so? Perhaps you can help equip us all, because we are all trying to prepare for this thing that is coming. The God King.
That was in a different world, though, and it's not push to talk because it keeps doing it even when I'm not pushed. It's just an annoying connection issue somewhere.
Annoying customer.
That's a story for another time. Annoying customer and ugly ass dog.
What was that? All the notes?
Those were the three things that you uncovered. The three truths.
So we have to figure out what we want to do from here. We may eventually need to go to Sanctuary, but I worry that one, we won't be able to get in through the barrier, and two, once we are in there, we will be woefully unequipped for whatever is waiting.
Well, if I had to guess from what I've seen, the Blood God and the Mad God didn't quite get along. And I know he doesn't like traitors. See, I've got this nice shiny orb that told me that.
So I think we should keep this on the back burner for now. We aren't really equipped to deal with this. The question is, what is our step now? Because we have the matter of the Exalted Child. We have the matter of Ebon Meadows.
The tree's in
and
trouble.
we have the matter here in Relden too. I mean, not Relden, Aurora. So that is three things that seem to need attention the most. Since we are here in Aurora, do we have a hand to play at all right now? Perhaps stepping away for a while to help Ebon Meadows might be a good idea.
Well, I'd like to help the tree before we leave.
Then what would you suggest we do?
I could try talking more with the tree and figure out where the most pain is coming from. We could try to find an underground place again.
Okay, that seems good. I would like to take Minhir to the Temple of the Platinum Sun. If he is in as close of his clique as he says, the Platinum Sun could give us some information or some guidance. Any of that kind of things would be great to know right now.
And at some point, I'd like to know why the mad guy is framing me for, killing my siblings. I know
So it is not your sister that is framing you. It is someone else.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She's not a nice lady, and if I had to guess, she led the attack on Relden. But I don't think she'd murder my other sibling.
I will trust your judgment on that, and if there's anything I can do to further your goals on this freeing of your name, please tell me. I would be happy to help.
Well, could you talk with the military?
That would be a bad idea. They've already questioned me on Eri, and I told them I did not know where she was. There seemed to be a sort of a schism between the Chimera and the actual god. Some of the god abandoning their posts, turning against the city.
They fired the Chimera. Something about an Operation Pegasus.
Do you know what that operation is?
Nope.
Well, I worry about going to speak to the military because I do not think I am in the commander's best graces. I think it would be kind of risky. First, I would still like to go to the temple. I also have an errand that I need to take care of. Big buff guy like Minhir could probably help me maintain some level of authority, a bit more muscle along with me, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. Matter of fact, when you're gonna owe me an apology though, once we talk to Click, then you're gonna say, "Man, this guy's not crazy at all."
If that's the case, I will willingly give you one. Is there anything else before we break up? Anything we should?
I look forward to helping you guys and stopping evil and whatnot. And evil always needs a good kick in the ass or a good head crush.
That is something I can get behind. Well, if nobody has anything to add, why don't we break and take care of our errands? And,
I only have one thing to add of any importance. And he looks at Elodie and goes, "Ma'am, you are stunningly beautiful," and walks out.
Like Alodia is just like blushing and can't say anything.
So nothing's changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll clap Elodie on the shoulder and give her a thumbs up and then walk out of the room.
So as you leave Mordecai's room, where is
So-
everybody going?
I'm not the only one who's having connection problems.
I'm okay.
I have
This-
no issues.
This is annoying as shit, by the way, but I'm trying to make it work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I promised some gunman that I would dance with him on the dance floor. So
All right. And we know Mordecai is going to go to church, so to speak. What about the rest of you?
I guess Barth will probably just go back to what he was doing before.
Barth, can I ask you a big favor?
What do you need, Willow?
You should take Senosha out and a night on the town, somewhere.
You mean like a tavern?
No, like go higher up in the tree and see the stars, away
Dude.
from the-
Quit going to McDonald's. At least go to Red Lobster. Go to like some mid-range place, dude. You ain't got to go to like Cheese or nothing, but go to Red Lobster.
Listen, Ari. I'm not the one who gave Senosha unlimited booze. There's not really much I can do in this situation.
friend, dear sweet Barth.
I'm very sorry for your loss. And he rests his hand on her shoulder and then he walks out.
Wait, Barth. You do know the drunker she gets, the more you have to deal with it in bed tonight.
I mean, not if she just completely passes out.
Do you really think she's gonna pass out?
I mean, she does have unlimited booze.
Yeah, which means she's just gonna be unlimited.
You've never seen her pass out from drinking too much. In
Yeah, but
fact,
he's all.
unlike
yeah, but-
other people, the drunker she gets, the more awesome she gets, both in battle and other endeavors.
Again, you say that like it's a bad thing.
Please, Barth.
Imri pulls out an ale mug and then throws it at Barth.
I can put it in a way that sounds bad. Pelvic fracture.
I mean, that's better than dealing with me.
Again, you say that like that's a bad thing.
It's a pretty bad thing.
Death by snooze. Death
Yeah,
by snooze.
exactly.
That's Valkyrie.
Maybe
Okay.
for anybody except Minir.
Okay.
She
well,
wouldn't even make it to the pelvic.
Thanks for trying, Barth. I'll remember you when I file bankruptcy.
All right. Well, let's go by the pub here first, the Busy Bee Tavern. Making your way back, see a few things. The bar's calmed down a little bit since you left, but not too much. What has changed is the former Chimera mercenaries are now all at one table. The gnome's still working at her blueprints while they're busy kind of talking about something. However, you do see Barth. You see Sinosha. Not really dancing anymore, as more of there's a group of people now gathered by her. They're pretty much like waiting with like little tankards of ale, and they're handing her like these tankards of ale. Like they're trying to get her drunk, but it's not working. And you see why, because when she's drinking, she's not perfectly drinking them. She's kind of sloppily drinking them, where it kind of runs down the mug, her hand, and down like the front of her shirt, which is all now glistened with the ale. And that's just drawing more attention from people who want to dance with her and probably other things with her. But she's oblivious to this. She's just enjoying all the like the nonstop delicious ale. And why everybody is so nice with her, she's hasn't quite picked up on this yet.
You having a good time there, Sinosha?
And she's finishing a tankard. Everybody's so friendly. It's good music and dance. Hey, Barth, come dance with me. And she like goes to grab you with her own metallic arm in here, which you now notice like she's got a matching one like Barth has. And she like pulls Barth with her, and she's gonna start dancing with you, Barth.
All right, he'll dance with her.
Okay. And you know, like, she enjoys dancing. She loves the performances. It's something that she's even worked with when she did her fights. You know, she'd kind of do the little showmanship, you know, the little dancing, the song. She'd make a whole, like, glorified entrance when she'd always go to her matches. Part of the reason why she was such an attraction. But now she's just having a good time, and she's just dancing the night away with you. She doesn't even see the other guys as suitors. She just sees you, and she's just happy dancing with you. And all the other people are still like, maybe I have a shot if I just give her more alcohol. But they're just kind of timid and wait.
That's beautiful.
So, so Willow.
Aye.
Willow?
Yep.
Okay. So, you were going to go see Stryker, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And since they're all gathered up together.
So as you're approaching, you start to hear some of the conversation they're having. And it seems like they're talking about like jobs they can do, or, you know, what to do in terms of, you know, money and things like that, since they're now all unemployed. I told you that I wasn't what they were looking for in an engineer. Can you believe that? Me! That's all I do is build weapons, and the military turns me down? To Gnome with them. Good luck with that top secret project y'all are working on.
Right? Like, your weapon was amazing out there.
And so Stryker sees you and smiles, and others kind of, the Dragonborn and the marionette woman just kind of looks over, and the gnome immediately jumps up on the chair and grabs you and pulls you like really close to her, and she just kind of, I don't know what your game is, but ever since he talked to you at the bar, he's not stopped talking about you. And if you break his heart, and she like points you at the blueprints that clearly says Railgun Mark III, I'll be testing this on you. Comprende?
Whoa, look at this. Like, this would just like incinerate me.
It looks like a plan, like her gun that you saw, like with like the steam whistles and some kind of steam powered and God knows what else, the gears and contraptions, was shooting out 10-inch railroad spikes with such velocity and force they were going through like the Eldritch horrors and well into the walls 60 feet beyond them. Basically, think of it like a high-powered sniper rifle. the plans here, just by a glance from your knowledge of weapon making, it looks like she's planning on modifying it into something that's more fully automatic and possibly belt fed.
I know a group who really needs some help with that.
And the Dragonborn is gonna. So, Gizmo, where did you say they were trying to get the engineers? Maybe they have some work in that area that we can do. It was up by the Morning Mountain. Something called Journeyman Prime or something. You know that place where all the dwarves died? That they were looking for people there. And Stryker is gonna tap you on the shoulder, Willow. And, glad to see you came back.
Yep. I said I was only gonna be gone for a little bit. You look happier. Yay!
Oh, I mean, now that you're back, things are looking up. So, you're one of Fey folk, right? You must be a nymph, right?
Nope. I'm a dryad.
Are all dryads that pretty?
I don't know. I've never met another one.
Well, you could be a nymph if you wanted to be.
Nope. See. Thank you.
He's a little drunk.
Right. Well, so yeah, you guys should go talk, with the Landers, because they're trying to find people who are good with engineering. Remy, let's go dance. She's gonna drag him out to the dance floor and hope he passes out drunk.
So he joined you on the dance floor, and you have his complete attention, and the others are just kind of looking just like... They almost have this look like, I've never seen him go and dance before, and the gnome just kind of gives you this look like, almost like a mother would when seeing her child go out with somebody they don't approve of. She's giving you that level glare right now. And then she kind of goes back to the blueprints, but occasionally looking up at your way with you and Remy.
It's okay. This charm won't backfire on me. Helping the world one person at a time.
All right, so Mordecai. As you said, you're going to the temple for the Platinum Sun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As you make your way out of the Nymph's Rest through the lovely gardens, even in this cold winter air, the gardens still hold their green luster. Most of the snow seems to not really cluster on the plants as much. It almost just kind of melts a little bit. It does stick to some of the walkway, but not too much. Just a light dusting. it's almost as if the magic of the gardens helps even keep clear of some of the snow. Where outside you can see there's at least a good 2 feet of snow on some of the rooftops and some of the areas where it's not heavy foot traffic. As you exit the white arched gates to the gardens, a hand slaps a letter into your chest. And connected to the hand is an arm. And you see a smiling chimera mercenary. What's different about this mercenary is their uniform has changed slightly. Now they seem to be wearing military patches. Well, Mordecai, right? This is your lucky day. You seem to avoid yourself a court-martial. Here's your prize. And he just laughs, walking off.
I'm part of the Holland military, not the one here in Aurora.
The Aurora one, okay, so General Kale, let me just tell you a little bit about him. He is not just over Aurora's military, he is over the entire Holland military.
Ah.
So, but
never mind.
Let me, so this is what you know about in general knowledge of Kale, okay? He is commander of the Holland Army and the nation's finest instrument in warfare. He is described as kind of a superior half-dragon in plate armor, having been witnessed laughing off wide arrays of arcane energies and ripping Umber Hulks and armored warriors in half with his bare hands. He is one of the deadliest entities to have walked the battlefield standing over 12 feet tall. Upon reaching the rank of general, Kale had his armor custom manufactured by the best craftsmen and enchanted by the best artificers to fit and protect his massive physique. After a number of horrifically successful field campaigns, he became Holland's solution to a number of sticky problems. Nearly 3 years of continuous campaigns against Holland's hostile neighbors, this molded Kale into a new model of superior military combatant, towering above normal humans with extreme levels of endurance, strength, and speed. His armor is suspected to have properties that extend his life, while others think it may also enhance his already impressive physical qualities, such as sight, strength, and reaction time, among many others. Despite his appearance, though, Kale doesn't consider himself a half-dragon, but he had always been a monster before his rise to the general in the military. To the Concordant, for them, he was a weapon. To common soldiers, as you know, Kale was an enigma, some kind of interracial draconic freak. Most soldiers considered Kale a walking apocalypse, something the gods created to punish the world, and, well, they were not generally aware of the true capabilities from one of his draconic heritage. Most soldiers were unwilling to accompany him on field operations before he became general. However, Kale's loyalty to Holland, the Concordant, and the armed forces was present before his rank of general, and it was only reinforced by his successful campaigns through various neighboring nations and even the financial backing by the Concordant. Kale was extensively deployed to the wastelands of Scythia, tasked with resolving any situations that may affect Holland. These included hunting down traitors whose knowledge could prove dangerous, exterminating the rebellious cults, and killing demons and other horrors that lurk in the Alabaster Plateau. Without his special suit of armor, Kale was already a walking death machine, but with it, he became one without peer. And that is the gentleman that you met the other day, that you turned down to help, even through orders from a superior officer. So,
Cool.
with that, you have this now letter in your hands.
I open it and read it.
So, a military court has found you guilty of direct insubordination from a superior officer with witnesses by other officers. As such, the military court is not going to waste their time or yours with any arrests of you for this. However, it has been deemed that you are going to be dishonorably discharged, your rank stripped from you, and all benefits and rewards thereof. And this has been signed and approved by General Kale directly.
Fine, I don't need these bastards teared into pieces. Fucking bureaucracy. And I start walking off towards the temple,
Well,
making sure Minhir is following.
bureaucracy is the same wherever you go, no matter what world you're in, apparently. And that's a big son of a bitch, by the way.
I will take a court martial over betraying one of my companions that fights by my side.
So, going through the snow-laden streets of Aurora, you see the little pinpoints of lights from the various homes where the hearths are burning, the chimneys billing out little pillars of winding smoke, the smell of the burning wood kind of filling the cold night air. Not a lot of travelers at this time, though the streets, to be quite honest, seem much safer than they've ever been, though the retribution for breaking the law has been much stricter than it has ever been as well. Thankfully, the statues of Click, with their hollowed out chests, the symbols, burning the magical torchlights to light the ways to the temple, still remain. And as you follow them, you come to the outside of the temple, which has been recovered since the little massacre that occurred at the hands of the Infernal Scepter. But at this time, there's no services going on, but you do see the lights from the candles within.
I'll go in and try and find one of the clerics that I'm familiar with working with.
Well, those clerics have died. They died in the massacre, remember? Their bodies.
I thought that was in Relden. Was that not in Relden?
You know, maybe having them switch up, so you actually may be right. Let's see.
Because after that
'Cause that one had
massacre was when...
the girl that had the deformed hand. So, yes, you are correct. I was getting them transposed. Sorry about that. So, yeah, still, after the events that happened several months ago with the Blood God's messenger giving the warning, the statues of Click that were damaged have been repaired. The temple has... It's a nice calming sight, and as you open the doors, the warmth inside is a nice welcome greeting. The smells of the incense. The cold winds blow in some snow as they try to rush inside to where the warm air is. Close the doors behind you with a loud ka-doom. So you're going to try to search for one of the clerics. You don't see anybody in the main hallway here. What do you do?
I've worked at this church a few times, and I glance up at Minhir and point to the statue, and I'm like, well, This is one of the temples where I've served. Does anything look familiar?
Does it look like Click, sir?
The statues, they don't have like the facial details because, as Mordecai knows, the representations of Click that do manifest, they're very brightly colored. They almost block out some of the facial features. What is known as sometimes the body of the kobold is a bluish hue like Click was. But they just kind of make the general facial features of a kobold, or sometimes they don't even do that as homage to, that he is above such trivial things for identification. Like he transcends.
Nope.
That
Don't
ability.
Don't look familiar.
If you would wait here a moment, I will go find one of the clergy. That might help us with some spellcasting, perhaps a commune or a divination.
All right. So you go to the. Where do you go? Like.
I'll wait. That's fine. I'll wait. And this is annoying as shit.
I'll go in the back. To some of the parts where he would know where they were, like the halls beyond the actual worship area.
Okay. So yeah, you go to the back cloisters where the priest individual chambers are, where they keep some of their other supplies for the various services and some of the general storage, even their own little private little kind of like kitchens and things that they, just because they live here essentially. You go back there and basically rummaging around in the kitchen, you hear some pots and pans kind of rumbling, like somebody just dropped the pan just a few inches, enough to make kind of like a crang, wah, 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 noise.
Hello?
Ah, who's there? And you see this elderly, kind of almost half reptilian, not quite a dragon, but almost like one of their parents might have been like a lizard folk or something to that nature. It's got some of like the shade of green, but you can see the little scales upon them. Has these big glasses on. Doesn't have a lot of hair on the top of the head. In fact, he's kind of cleared it, making it almost occidental kind of shaving, that the top of the head just completely bald intentionally. He has the off-white robes with the simple brown rope belt tied around the waist as he peers around. Ah, who's there?
I'm Mordecai. I've worked here before, a while ago. I was looking for someone, some of the clerics.
I'm the priest. I'm Theron. I don't believe I met you before, but some of them have talked about you. You were the one that helped save a little girl and did some other things around the region.
Yeah, that is me.
Oh, nice to meet you. And he just kind of, like, when he walks to you, he's got an obvious kind of little limp in his left leg. And it doesn't seem really to pain him too much, but it does seem like he does have some issues walking. Well, you needed the priest. What can I help you for? Did you need to have private confessions with Click?
I have someone with a somewhat peculiar past. It is a bit hard to explain without sounding somewhat heretical. I was hoping to speak with someone that could provide some direct intercession with the Platinum Sun.
So you're wishing to commune with him, yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Click! Commune, damn it!
is
That would be him.
He should not be shouting this.
Talk to this
late.
guy down here. Let him know. Come on, man! Come on.
Please bear with me. I'm so sorry.
I can prepare the commune, but your friend must lower his voice in the House of the Platinum Sun.
I will go speak with him.
Yes, I will get the materials. Wait in the main worship hall. I will meet you both there.
Thank you. And I'll go back out to Minhir. Sorry for the wait. I did find someone who would be able to help us, but it is generally looked down upon shouting in the area of worship.
Man, Click ain't gonna mind because it's me.
But the priests, they are the worshippers.
Yeah, you're probably right. Sorry about that.
It is okay.
I'm impatient. Damn little blue bastard ain't talked to me since I realized what was going on, and he didn't open the fucking door. Could you believe he didn't open the damn door?
The look on Mordecai's face, just a look of horror and a look of just unbelief. Whether you know him or not, you show some courage, I guess it would be, speaking about the Platinum Sun in that way. Whether you know him or not, he is a god.
Well, to his word, Theron is entering the main chamber hall with, looks like he's carrying bits of, like, sacred cloths, and he's got bits of incense, and some vials of some clearish liquid as he kind of shuffles his way with that limp into the main hall. Okay. So, let me just prepare this here, and he lays out the cloth very delicately in like a long folded strip with the symbol of Click visible, facing upwards. He places the incense at these very precise placements on that cloth, and then he takes the holy water and he dips 2 fingers in and starts writing something into the cloth with it, and then he also takes his thumb, dips it into it, and this rather large fellow here is the one wishing to commune, correct?
Nope. Mordecai is, because he wants to corroborate my story, and him communing with me wouldn't prove nothing. So go on and let your fellow supplicant talk to my friend.
If he's telling the truth, I would imagine there would be some kind of presence beyond what the spell would normally have. But this is only my theory, and I don't know what the Platinum Sun has in mind. But I do wish to ask some questions of him.
Okay, so Mordecai, step forward, please.
I step forward.
And he takes his thumb that he dipped in that water, and he makes a little marking on your forehead, and he makes another marking like right above the center of your sternum where the Platinum Sun's holy symbol usually lies, where those lanterns usually lie. He kind of makes a similar drawing of that symbol on your chest there.
Right.
And after he does that, he lights the incense and starts beginning his chanting. And after about a minute or so, you see him open his eyes, which appear to be rolled in the back of his head. And what are the questions that you seek to ask the Platinum Sun?
I'm double checking the wording on commune. 3 questions. Okay. So our companion Minhia has said some things in regarding to his relationship with you. Is he true in telling that he was your friend during your time in the mortal realm? The sound of his voice just makes it. He feels like that. Just asking a question like this is blasphemy.
So, as that question is asked, the priest there, the Theron, seems to kind of tilt his head. This is strange. Click. It says,
What's strange?
Click responds with no, but not in a negative fashion. It's odd. It's like there's something more to it. I cannot.
He's saying it's true, ain't he?
No. Do you deem this person, Minhia, trustworthy?
Hey, you know how I'm getting around
Yes.
the problem? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you know how I'm getting around the problem with the computer? I'm using my fucking phone, and I'll probably keep doing that.
Nice.
Oh, that's your call on that. I had to readjust your volume. That explains why it changed, because you're on your phone. So, but when you ask, do you deem Menhir trustworthy? The priest responds, yes.
Minhia, do you have a question for him?
How come you didn't open the damn door, Click?
It needs to be yes or no.
Am I your friend, Click?
Minhia would like to know if you are his friend.
Nope, you said it wrong. Am I his friend? That's what I said.
I don't understand.
You said it backwards. A god could be a friend to all, but am I a friend to him? Is my question.
Is Minhia a friend to Click?
the priest relays the question, and after a moment of silence, no.
He says no.
That's damn peculiar. He's being an asshole.
Well, there are two things that that I am thinking right now, and it is only fair that I tell them to you. One, you are trustworthy. I trust you, but I do think that there's some trouble. You're troubled in your thinking, and there's something wrong with your mind.
Punch him in the face.
I was saying Menir punch Mordecai in the face.
Yep.
You know, since I don't know you that well and you don't know me that well, I'll forbear punching you in the face this time. But don't go telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not a smart thing to do.
This is coming from the mouth of a god. And a god, you say, that you know.
Oh, I thought
You're correct that
saying you
we don't know each other.
I'm not troubled. I know exactly what happened.
That is the problem with those kind of problems. When we do not know we have them.
Look, when the beam hit me, I was transported here. Let them know that part and see if it changes stuff. In the arena against the animated thing created by Jansen, who, by the way, I subsequently found out the Jansens are native to this plane, which makes a lot of sense. The beam that hit me transported me here in the arena against the construct.
The priest Theron interjects. There is something else from Click.
Spit it out, man. Don't keep me in suspense.
Click says that Menir is not a friend to Click. Menir is a brother to Click.
Mordecai takes a step back and then sits down in a pew. Okay. I take
Well, dang,
back what
Click,
I
I'm sorry I
just
got so loud in your temple. My apologies, brother. I appreciate that. You're the man, Click. You know you are. And all the time he talks to Click, by the way, he's like looking up at the ceiling and shit, and looking around and like, well, this guy seems like a lunatic.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I will be right back. And Theron gets up and goes to the back cloister, leaving you two to talk for a moment.
Mordecai seems to be processing. Just taking a moment to process.
Like I said, I know exactly what happened. I was transported here, damn it. Magic does weird stuff.
That it does. I'm very sorry I've doubted you. I will do my best to serve you as well as the Platinum Sun, whom you are so close to.
Hold on a second. I ain't no god. I'm just an earth being in search of triumph over evil and better stuff because I like weapons.
I have served my spiritual guardian and the Platinum Sun for nearly my whole life. And the one who I serve calls you brother. I cannot... That changes the way I see you. You must understand.
Well, don't worry about it, Mordecai. Sorry I threatened to punch you. I appreciate your words. Now I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Later, Click!
Wait.
No, wait.
As you're saying that, in here, the priest comes back and he puts something in front of you on the little pew right next to you. It's a glass of goat's milk and a plate of hardtack cookies. And
they're laughing.
Click told me to bring you this. Said that it was always your favorite, and that you would know.
Hold on a second. Did he say milk and cookies or?
He did, but we all we have is the goat's milk and the hardtack. We don't normally carry such things.
Technically, I think he was telling you to bring me women, but it's okay. I can get my own. Thanks, brother.
Head kind of stabs back and he blinks. Like, wait, what?
Appreciate it, brother. Well, no, that's what milk and cookies means. They're a priest. It means women folk.
Click never really got that. He always thought you were talking about actual milk and cookies.
Oh, okay. That's funny. When men are
His
laughing,
childlike innocence, he always thought you would just love milk and cookies.
Mordecai's eyes meet the priest, and with the same bewildered face, and he just shrugs.
Yeah. Okay, and as you exit the church, you are once again greeted by the cold winds of winter.
Is it still okay that we make another stop?
where are we going?
To a tavern to relay a message to some dangerous folks. I do not want there to be fighting, and I doubt there will be, because we are seeking peace between our two.
It's all right. I don't mind going with you. You serve my friend, so it's okay. And I'm good at fighting, by the way. So I'm not.
I believe you.
Here, check out this maul here. It's actually double weight. So here.
I accept it and just kind of look at it.
Well, as you grab it and look at the maul immediately brings you down, like bent over. It's so heavy. Like it just goes straight to the ground. And then you have to strain to pick it up.
Okay. It is very heavy.
Yep, heavy's good. It reminds me of the stone. It weighs a little more than the stone does.
The what?
The stone.
The stone.
Never mind, man. Let's go where you need to go.
Okay, well, I'm not so much of a fighter. I deal in matters of the arcane and the making of magical items.
Really? You can make magic? Well, dude, let me ask you a favor then. I need you to enchant this here maul and imbue it with power that it can affect creatures that are immune to normal weapons. Because that's a problem I had in the past.
Well, I will try if I can, but I don't think I have that capability. I've only been able to make trinkets so far.
How quickly we go back home and you'll serve me like your master. How quickly that changes. And he laughs and claps. I'm just giving you.
I will try.
Proceed.
Well, I'm gonna head over to the inn or the little tavern that the Infernal Scepter told me about, and I'm
Well,
gonna leave a message.
all right. So the place that they told you about is actually a place in the Bridge District. It's probably the most famous tavern in the Bridge District. It's called the Proving Grounds. The Bridge District itself has many bridges that span over the waterways, the waterfalls, and homes and businesses are actually built along both sides of the bridge, leaving this one glorious thoroughfare going across the central bridge. However, people have built structures underneath these dwarven crafted bridges, and that seems to be where more of the seedier element of the district dwells, hiding always in the shadow, not only from the sun but from the bridges and the law. Much like the top, they have their own buildings built along the sides and such, but these are more ramshacked, not quite built as neat and evenly as most other structures here, except for one. Along the main span, the central bridge, the one that everybody uses the most, underneath it there's one large structure about the size of a warehouse. This is the Proving Grounds. It is known for its gambling, legalized gambling, mind you. Various card games and other events can be gambled upon. Or if one wants, they can partake in a hot meal or even rent a room or maybe company for the evening. The main attraction, however, is its indoor fighting arena. Very small compared to most, but this is legal. They have their own trauma center to help with the fighters. They even have their own fighting circuit that not everybody makes the tryouts for. They have their own betting, and they even have
I've been here before, Dave.
You have not been here before. This is one of those things like you were in the Queen's Arch, which is like, you know, the Superdome or the, it's like Super Bowl Sunday. This is more of like a UFC championship, you know, in comparison. So you were in this main stage in the limelight of the eyes of everybody in the city. This is kind of like a smaller niche group. So you have not partaken here. It is rumored that they have their own undercover security here to help prevent from people using magics and other things to manipulate bets or fighters, or to dissuade people from, basic thievery and cut purses, from the people who do actually bet and are lucky enough to win. As you go here to leave your message to meet with the Infernal Scepter, Mordecai, you see a very familiar face up in the grandstands of this arena. The section that would be closed off for nobility or, an owner's box, essentially. You knew her in Reldon as the Viper. That teal-skinned beauty that you met in the vault that swore vengeance upon Emery.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Wait a minute, you said teal-skinned beauty. Hold on a second. I'm just kidding.
I have a picture of her somewhere. I don't know if I have it on a quick bar here. I'll see if I do real quick. I actually kind of do. Hang on. I just gotta... change something here. Alright. And I'll just show... this to everybody. And that's what she looks like.
All right, is it? Wait a minute. Is she Ganassi?
Not sure. It's possible.
Yeah, she could be water.
You're not close enough to really confirm, but that is a possibility.
Hold on a second. I need to get close enough to confirm something real quick here, Mordecai.
But what are you?
That beautiful woman over there might be a Ganassi.
I know her.
You do?
She wants to kill one of my friends.
Which one?
There's a little one.
Oh,
So
that's
it's a
not
girl.
Yeah, she's little.
I think I should leave my message and we should
No
go.
offense, Mordecai. You're kind of little.
Well, I mean, I do have some power in this form, you know. I'm not. I mean, I did lose my military rank just now, but I do have some powers that I can bring up. I swear. If
Well, I guess I won't go there then. Say she knows you wants to kill some folk.
we should we should definitely tell our friends that she's here. I'll be right back if you could keep an eye.
Wait, you want me to keep an eye on her?
Well, on everything in general. I don't want a dagger in the back, you know.
All right, then. I'll stay here. You can go ahead.
Thank you.
And when Mordecai leaves, he immediately approaches it.
Yeah.
All right, and on that note, that's where we're going to stop for today.
I'll bust your Nico kneecaps, Mordecai.
I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. I told him not to.
You called me short. I'll show you what short is when you're the one in the wheelchair. We'll have another go round in the pit fighting arena.
No.
I'll bring in my boys. Barth, get the baseball bat.
Not again.
All right,
Not
so
again.
I just want to mention
Stop it
this.
for today. Let's keep going. Dang it.
No, we're going to stop for today. We try to keep the session schedule so everybody can play for 8 hours plus. One thing I wanted to mention while still in the recording, so if anybody goes back to look at the recording, we have this down. You all have enough experience now for 9th level.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. So make your
That means
appropriate
that
changes.
means I'm gonna have teleportation circle.
When you all take your next long rest, you will have the new abilities.
That means I'll need to talk to you sometime during the week, David. Dave.
That's fine. I will work with everybody on that. But I'm going to end the recording here. Hope everybody had fun. I thought it was great, and we got a lot done that we needed to have done. And I'll look forward to the next session. So take it easy, everybody.
Yeah, it was great.
You're good.